I am Brenda Morales. I'm the state director for the Oklahoma Louis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation Program. I know that the name is really long, but we call it OK-LSAMP for short. And this is a federal funded program through the National Science Foundation. This LSAMP program exists not just only in the state of Oklahoma, but in most of the contiguous United States. It's about 48 locations, and I don't want to say states because LSAMP looks a little different in each location. Some LSAMPs have more than one LSAMP in the state, but then there's other states like us that it's one LSAMP for the state, and it represents an alliance of institutions. That includes Oklahoma State, which is the lead institution, University of Oklahoma, University of Tulsa, Southwestern Oklahoma State University, Southeastern Oklahoma State University, East Central University, Cameron University, Northeastern State University, Northwestern Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma Panhandle State University, University of Central Oklahoma, and I'm missing one more. Who am I missing? Langston University. Please forgive me, Langston. Those 12 universities are part of this alliance, which means that we have an alliance or an understanding to recruit students of underrepresented populations in STEM majors to be part of this program. So the major intent of this program, as per the National Science Foundation, is to provide resources and opportunities to better prepare underrepresented scholars in STEM fields, specific STEM fields, to not only graduate with their bachelor's of science in those particular fields, but also to encourage them and prepare them to be competitive students for graduate programs. One of our biggest ones is to be able to conduct research. And so students get a great opportunity to work with a mentor in their research field or in their area that they're studying. We help them find it. We help them find that particular mentor, or if they have already found one themselves because they went to a class and they were really impressed with what this particular faculty member does, then that could be the case too for connection. But yeah, so there's a connection of a mentor-mentee relationship to conduct research at all of these 12 institutions. And they do that throughout the academic year. So fall and spring semester, students are conducting research in a variety of different fields, from nutritional sciences to microbiology, cellular molecular biology, chemistry, engineering, physics. So all these various STEM fields that are eligible through the program. The students that are eligible to be part of this program, again, as per NSF's requirement, is they must be a U.S. citizen because it is a federally funded program. Well, U.S. citizen or permanent resident, I apologize. So it could be either of those, a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. They have to be a full-time student at their institution, and they must have good academic standing, so preferably a 3.0 or above. And then a STEM major in an eligible field. So within that, then NSF also says the 4 populations that we are targeting for this particular program are Native American, African American, Hawaiian Pacific Islander, and Hispanic Latino. So they're able to conduct research, present research throughout the year too, and that's another great opportunity that we provide them, is we let them know about different scientific conferences or professional conferences where they can submit their abstracts and present their research if they get accepted. So we had, for instance, some scholars accepted recently to the ABRCAMS conference, which is the American Biomedical Research Conference for minoritized scientists, I'm sorry. And they just changed their name. So that, but so some scholars, about 12 scholars, were able to attend. ABRCAMS is what we call it for short. So about 12 scholars were able to attend Abercam's in Anaheim, California, to present their research and talk about all the scientific endeavors that they have. And so it was wonderful. We even had one scholar win an award. And so these are conferences that have 5,000 plus attendees. So they're massive. And to be able to have our students not only present their research, but get to, hear from, they actually were able to hear one of the speakers, which was a Nobel laureate, a recent Nobel laureate in chemistry. So they were there. There was an astronaut as well. So, I mean, it was so motivating to them, so exciting. Again, they not only get to present their research and see that, and sometimes they get to travel with their research mentor, sometimes they don't, it just depends. But also to be able to acquire those experiences that are gonna enhance their professional development are just fantastic. Students come back so invigorated, so motivated, so excited to continue in their field, and they realize that the conversations they have with their student colleagues at those conferences is so different to the type of conversations they have on a regular basis with friends that are not in research or things like that. And so it's so fascinating to them, and they love that opportunity. Another thing that we provide is support in assistance when searching for internships. So there's a variety of different internships. If students are in engineering, I personally encourage them to do 2 internships. One is a research internship, and then another one a corporate internship. So they can get an idea and really see what it's like to be in a corporate setting versus to be in a research setting. And they can actually make up their mind and see what opportunities are out there. If they really want to go the corporate route, or if they maybe want to pursue a graduate degree and go into academia, or and we've even had this, I think more recently, is students that decide to still go to graduate degrees because they do want to go to a corporate setting, but they want to work in the research side of a corporate setting. So not just in the manufacturing side, or not just in the management aspect, but they want to work, again, in the innovative part of whatever corporate setting they're looking into. So we've had students that go and pursue a graduate degree to assist with that development, again, as a researcher. We provide them those internship opportunities or resources to find them. There's internships that they can do locally, may it be here within the state, or some that we let them know that are just nationally. And of course, that excites them a lot because it's an opportunity to get to see a city and state that they've never been to. We have students, going to New York, to California, to Kansas for various internships. And the research ones are really interesting. So those are usually corporate ones. Well, I mean, they're both, but then we have research internships where students get so excited because some of them have been to Cornell, to Harvard, to Stanford, and they're like, oh my goodness, I never thought I could be to a school like this. And yet to do this internship opportunity with them, they get so excited, to think of themselves as, being able to potentially be there as a grad student, or just the difference in knowledge and resources that those institutions have versus their local institution. So when it comes to research, they see, oh my goodness, they have such large budgets to be able to do all, conduct all this research. And anyway, so their eyes open, and again, they get motivated and excited about these opportunities. So it's really, really neat to be able to see that as well. I mean, through the program, they have that faculty mentor, but some faculty mentors are so amazing that they provide so many additional resources and opportunities, and encourage their scholars to do so much, right? So from awards to scholarships to outside research, and so there's these great initiatives through them as well. And so that's one of the things that I really enjoy about LSAMP, and especially as talking with you all, is that mentorship component, because we know that mentorship is not just about, how are you doing on a day-to-day, because it is, but there's also like, how can we enhance your day-to-day opportunities? How can we make it easier for you to to not have to, like, I think many of us see this, that now that we're adults, right? We're like, okay, I struggled to find these resources. Well, what can I do to provide those resources early to someone that, that I'm helping or mentoring? So they don't take as long to find what is their passion, what they want to do in life. We have great mentors and they're very, very excited to work with our students. Many of them are within their own institution, but sometimes they find mentors in, even outside, again, like when they go to internships. And if they do an internship, like I said, for instance, I had a student do an internship in Harvard, and they really connected well with the Harvard mentor. And so now not only do they have their faculty mentor at their home institution in Oklahoma, but now they have another mentor from that entity. And so, and like we say, right, or that great African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child. And it's so true. The more mentors, the more people you have by your side to help you through the process, the better it is. Every fall semester, we have what we call an annual research symposium. So students, especially those who are starting off, have an opportunity to present research locally within the state. So all of the LSAMP scholars from around the state will come to Oklahoma State University in the fall and present their research, maybe through poster or oral presentations. And it's a great opportunity for them to practice in a smaller venue before they go to these national, regional and national conferences. And I say smaller venue, but it's still about 200 attendees. So it's not too small, but there's those opportunities. And then in the spring semester, we have what we call the PhD camp, and it stands for Preparing for Higher Degrees. And that's actually why we call it PhD. It's not in the sense of you're acquiring your PhD. It's, again, preparing for higher degrees. And so it's a boot camp, a 1.5 day boot camp, basically, of from doing your cover letters, fellowship applications, the GRE and how to prepare for your GRE. Why is grad school good for you? So there's a lot of different things that go into this particular program that, again, provide information as well as resources to students who are interested in going into graduate studies. So those are our two major programming, or larger programming, because it's statewide that students come together. But throughout the year, we have actually every semester, twice a month, we offer scholar meetings. So again, we mentioned that there's a mentorship with their research faculty, but there's also mentorship that we provide on a one-to-one basis with students. Like I said, we have contact with them at least twice a month through a lot of professional development seminars or workshops that could vary in topic from, again, either grad school preparation, how to be successful in undergrad, time management, financial knowledge and balance. Anything and everything that we realize that our scholars need to be successful professional individuals. And so those are offered, like I said, every 2 months, and some are virtual, some are in person. Every institution hosts those. And then we also have once a semester, we ask you to come and do a one-on-one scholar meeting with us, because we want to make sure to touch base with every single scholar. Again, celebrate the great things that you're doing, but also understand that if there's something going on that we need to help you work through or figure out, then that we're there for you. It may be from, if you're struggling with a class, okay, then let's help you find tutoring. If there's some personal situation that you're going through at your house, and it's affecting your academic career, then how can we figure out, what your best solution for that is? If you need, some mental health resources, if you need some academic resources, anything and everything that, because we understand as students, or as individuals, not just the students, life happens. We go through a lot of different things as you all are preparing for your degree. And so we want to make sure that that there's resources out there, that we're here for you, whatever you may need. And so again, there's not just a mentor through the component of the research side, but Darlene, I guess and I apologize for not introducing her before, but Darlene is our grant coordinator. And so she's a great resource as well. We talk, Darlene and I work in conjunction for anything and everything that the students might need. All those resources and all these conferences that I'm talking about, we share these opportunities with our scholars on a weekly basis. It's so much information. And I know sometimes, unfortunately for them, it seems overwhelming just because, again, it's so much information that they receive. But on a weekly basis, every Friday, we send them an email with a list of different internships that there's available, different graduate programs that are looking for underrepresented students in certain areas, certain international experiences. I forgot to mention that. So another great initiative that the program has is international experiences. And those international experiences can take form in a variety of different ways. So it could be a study abroad opportunity where you go for a whole semester and you have, take classes over there for your particular major. There's some other international experiences that can be through internships. We actually have, those are not as common, but they are a possibility. We actually had a young student from Southwestern Oklahoma State, from SWASU, go to France last summer for an engineering internship, and it was through Texas A&M. So again, they get paid for these opportunities and conduct research, but now it's abroad. He was in France for the whole summer, and it was fantastic. He loved it. And then the last international experience opportunity or method that we have is through presenting your research abroad as well. So for instance, I mentioned that we encourage our scholars to attend these national conferences. Well, we do that for international ones as well. There's not as many that we encourage just because they do have to fulfill a certain requirement, but a perfect example is we have WCUR, which stands for the World Conference for Undergraduate Research. And that happens every 3 years. And so we have certain requirements within the state or requirements that we ask our scholars to fulfill before they can apply to that one. But if they do apply and get accepted, then the program works to fully fund them and attend that conference. And so they get to travel. We had one student 4 years ago that traveled to Germany and presented her research. And she was so excited about, again, I think all these opportunities, one of the things that I see the students really enjoying from all of this is how excited they get. Like, these are resources and opportunities that they probably wouldn't be able to handle on their own. Financially, it'd be really hard for them to travel to these conferences on their own because the conference in itself is expensive, and then travel and whatnot. But the opportunity that this particular grant that OK-LSAMP is providing them to, continue forward and do this is just amazing. So that student went to Germany, was so excited, came back, and she went, finished one more year and then went to grad school. And so now she's finishing up her master's and doing great things. And so again, we have so many students that learn from these opportunities. We actually had another student that did an internship. Oh, well, actually, no, they did an international experience to Saudi Arabia, fully paid actually by that institution. She won second place, so it was a research poster competition. She won second place, I think it was. Came back, was so excited about it. Then when she graduated, she was able to secure an internship through them. And she was there for 7 months doing research again in Saudi Arabia. And through that time and through that preparation, she was able to submit for graduate school. And now she's in graduate school in Switzerland, I think it is. And so all these opportunities that now, and she says this, right? Like, these students are very appreciative and thankful. And they say, I wouldn't have opened my eyes to these opportunities if it weren't for the opportunities that LSAMP opened my eyes to, right? And so which is wonderful, because at the end of the day, they do the work. They're the ones that are conducting the research. They're the ones that are preparing and doing great things. But the fact that they have in us an ally to provide them this information that they don't have to search for on their own all the time, is just fantastic. NSF has another grant called the Bridge to the Doctorate. And what we do is, for that particular grant, is any LSAMP alumni from anywhere in the country, they do not have to be from Oklahoma. If they go to an institution that has a Bridge to the Doctorate grant, they can actually get 2 years of their graduate school funded for, in addition to then being secured an assistantship after. So with the intent of pursuing a PhD. So this is a great, great initiative because students then don't have to worry about paying for grad school. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I tell, because our scholars are all STEM, so science, technology, engineering, or math, I tell them there's no institution for grad school that you should be paying for. Everybody should be able to provide you an assistantship because it's usually those fields are very good in providing assistantships to our scholars. They're looking for people in these areas to continue on. So they'll find the money to provide to the students. However, if they do, like I said, have a need for it, there is this potential bridge to the doctorate. And it's wonderful because it's $32,000 a year for 2 years, and that's their stipend. So on a monthly basis, that'll be divided. So it comes out to like $2,600 and something dollars that you get for your rent, your food, things like that. And then $12,000 for cost of education. And so depending on what institution has it and you go to, that many times, like for instance, here at OSU and at OU, when we've had him, the $12,000 costs of education for the year will cover their full tuition and fees for that grad student for that year. And there's even money left over. And if the students play their cards right and kind of prepare in advance what we're talking about, there's another grant, and this is not through LSAMP, but it is through NSF. It's called the GRFP, so the Graduate Research Fellowship Program, that they can apply to actually as a senior in undergrad. And if they receive it, that one is 3 years of graduate funding, and that one can follow you anywhere. So if, again, like if the students actually work hard and figure out the situation, they can actually have 5 years fully funded if accepted into both of those programs. So basically their PhD would be completely funded with money, and usually higher than what an assistantship would be. Of course, depending on the state and the institution, but yeah, those are very competitive fellowships, and they're great. So there's all these great resources from the program that, again, even though they might not be directly through us, we know about these resources, and we encourage scholars to take advantage of them and prepare them for that, whatever it may be. So we do have, and this is for any students that are in a community college at the moment. You might not be in one of the Alliance campuses, but know that we're looking for you. If there's a transfer initiative at the moment where we're trying to collaborate with these community colleges, that if you're a freshman or sophomore at a community college and you want to start preparing and doing research, you can do that at your community college, and we'll work with you. That way you can transfer fully in to one of our 12 Alliance institutions and be part of LSAMP. Don't wait till you transfer 2 years later and be like, oh, I just, now I'm LSAMP, but it's, I lost 2 years. I only have 2 years left at school. Well, that's not true. You can do that. You can start getting involved even prior to that. So yes, particularly because of the research aspect, the program prepares for graduate school. So Master's of Science or a PhD, not intended for any professional school like medical school or dental school or law school, anything like that. So the intent of the program is for research-based graduate degrees. And I think there's other programs out there. We're just not the best fit for them, unfortunately. But as an individual and as a, first gen college student myself, when I was going through it, I have a policy of, if you are needing resources, please come to me. And even if you're not eligible for the program, I will come and tell you, find you resources of what you may need to be successful. even if a student is not eligible, please come my way, because I mean, so we say in Spanish, sabe más el diablo por viejo que por diablo, which is really weird translated into English, but it literally means the devil knows more because of the fact that he's old than because of the fact that he's a devil. So I've been in higher ed for so long that I know so many resources and opportunities that I can tell students about. So even if they're not eligible for this particular program for OK-LSAMP, I actually keep a running list of different resources and opportunities that they will be eligible for and that they should apply to. So they should not be discouraged about the fact that they're not eligible for mine, because there might be many more that they're eligible for. I definitely don't want to steer anyone away thinking that, oh, you know, I might not be eligible for the program, so they don't even want to talk to me. No, I would never turn anybody away. We're excited to be here for the students, whatever we can do, you know, like I said, to provide resources and opportunities to students that, you know, they didn't realize they could have, and encourage them to explore things that they never saw themselves exploring. So many students, that's another thing, right? Many students don't think about doing research while they're in undergrad. They don't even know what that really means. And so they open their eyes to a whole realm of possibilities because of the resources that they receive and opportunities that they see. So yeah, so just, you know, if you're looking for a new, in a sense, adventure or thing, possibility, explore, don't discourage yourself from taking these opportunities. What can I say? I'm super proud of the program and super excited about all the things that it offers as scholars, from resources, knowledge resources, as well as financial resources for them to travel and expand. But we can always use more scholars. So if you know someone that is a STEM major and is at one of these 12 institutions or is looking to transfer into one of these 12 institutions, please let us know. We are more than excited and happy to talk to them and see how the program would be a good fit for them.